What's going on, everybody? MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time. Welcome to another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. In this episode, I speak to a brother out of Windsor, Canada. His name, GerkOne. Check out this interview we did right now. What's going on, everybody? MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time with another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. In this episode, I'm speaking to a brother out of Canada. This is the first time I spoke to a brother out of Canada. I can't wait for y'all to meet him, because this brother here, he's got skills. I'm talking about lyrically, this brother is gifted. So without further ado, let me bring in GerkOne.
What's going on?
What is going on with you, man? How you been? What you been up to?
Same old shit, bro. Just pumping out this music. Just working. It doesn't stop.
And I'm so proud that I've met you, man, because when I first heard one of your songs, I was like, holy shit, this brother got skills. And I knew then I had to hit you up and get you on my podcast, man. GerkOne, man. Where'd that name come from?
It came from graffiti. I started out writing GerkOne all over the streets. And when I started getting into hip hop, a third name wasn't sitting right. So I just kept it GerkOne, and I just stuck with it. The alias just stayed the same between graffiti and rap, and just nothing felt right besides that. So
you're the only GerkOne I ever heard of. So you're the only GerkOne on the planet at the moment.
That's why the one is there, because the one and only.
When did you realize you had a passion for hip hop?
You know what, man? It was even in grade school. I was always freestyling. And the day I got into the studio, I just knew that this was for me. This is what I had to do. And I'd love to say I never stopped, but I took a 10-year break. I took a 10-year break from 2010 to 2020. But even then, it drove me crazy not doing it the whole time. And then when I came back better than ever. So everything went into place.
You got a point there, man, because your shit is dope, man. I'm serious. Folks, you got to tap into GerkOne, man, because this brother here, he will serenade you with his hip-hop skills. Who are your greatest influences?
Eminem's definitely number one. I can't say everything he puts out I love, but everything that he puts out, you can you know the skills behind it. And then when it comes to like Lil Wayne would be next up when it comes to the swag and just the way, the flow, the way you can get it popping off. So it's just like those two together right there are my all-time favorites. Those two are my biggest influences. That's all.
I can see that. A lot of rappers that I've met, some from the UK, and you're the first one I met in Canada, they tell me that Lil Wayne, or more importantly, Eminem, is one of their biggest influence. And it's like, because Eminem is dope for what he does, White dude with bars for years. That brother can rap circles around everybody. When you're not in the studio creating music, what do you do?
When I'm not in the studio creating music, I'm at home creating music. No, I run a cement company. I have a 2-year-old son. So between my son and work, that takes up all the other time besides the time I give to music. So I'm always busy no matter what.
And that's cool, man. I want to talk about this song that you sent us today. It's not released, folks. And in fact, he said, I don't know when I'm going to release it. So the only place you're going to hear this is on Let's Chat and Jam. But the song is called I'm Back, featuring Roni. Can you tell us about the song?
Roni is one of the biggest names out of Toronto. If you're up on the Canadian hip hop, you know who Roni is. You got respect for him. I did this track, and when I laid it out without the second verse, I knew right away he's going to be a perfect fit for this track. I hollered at him on Instagram, and we just got it popping from there. Like I said, I don't even know when I'm going to release this yet. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I'm sitting on it right now.
Well, I'm going to play a little snippet of it, folks. And this way you guys can tap in. But don't worry. GerkOne has music already out on Spotify. So you can go to Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Deezer, Pandora, my favorite spot, iHeartRadio. You can go tap into GerkOne because he's still got music. But this song, you can't find it online, but you can find it here, and I'm going to play 10 seconds of it.
Say I'm sick, it's so disgusting. Pull a strap, get the bustin'. I got bitches that suck till they get concussions. Round around like a merry-go, I'm ice out and you're barely snow.
Yo, this is GerkOne, y'all. This is fire, y'all. Tap in. You want to hear the rest of this song, you gotta wait till he drops it and releases it. But that song is dope. So you just think about it, folks. You just heard that. Imagine what you're going to hear on Spotify. So go ahead to Spotify, type in GerkOne, and he'll pop right up. Tell us some of your experiences you've had since you've been in hip hop.
We can start from the bottom. We can end up at the top. I've experienced pretty much anything you could think of, like live shows. I've interacted with plenty of artists that, like you think you'd never get the chance to do it, and then all of a sudden you have a track with them. You know what I mean? Probably one of the coolest things that ever happened to me was linking up with Two Pistols from Blood Money Union. Used to represent Cash Money Records. Back in 2010, I got a hold of him and I put out a track, Make It Happen. And he was my favorite rapper at the time. I had his CD and everything in my car at all times. I was playing that CD at all times. And when you message somebody like that, and I was doing numbers on MySpace too back then, like 10 years ago. I was doing numbers, but he had just gotten signed to Cash Money Records. So for me to message him and say, hey, I'm trying to get a track, I didn't even think he would check his own MySpace. I thought his manager or somebody would be taking care of that. So I messaged him and said, I'm trying to get a track with Two Pistols. Let me know what that's going to take. And then he messaged me back right away and said, hey, let's make it happen. And that's the name of the track, Make It Happen, because that's exactly what I did. I just made it happen. I made something happen that's never happened here before. In my city, no one's ever put out a track with an artist of that caliber. Like, he's 2 times platinum.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, so I just push the limits with shit that you don't even think is possible, and then it all clicks.
I'm digging the vibes, man. Do you have a process when it comes to creating music?
Yeah, definitely. My process always starts with the beat. Always, first and foremost, is the beat. So I hop on BeatStars and I listen to about probably 5,000 beats to find about 25, okay? Then I go through those 25 and I narrow that down to about 5. Now, even though I found these 5 immaculate beats that you would think anybody can make a hit song on these beats, I can't just take that song and say, okay, I'm going to do this one, and this one. For me, the beat talks to me. So I'll put on a beat and the hook will play in my head automatically. Like, I don't need to write it. I'll write it down after it plays for me in my head. So I'll write that down. And then from there, I can bang out the verses, no problem. Like 10, 15 minutes of verse and they're done. They're ready to go. And they're packed with syllables and punchlines, double entendres, triple entendres, you name it. And that's not the issue at all. It's just the concept of the song is the biggest part for me. It's the hardest part, because if the concept and the hook is not absolutely fired, then there's no point of even doing this track. So when the concept hits me off the beat, like, all yes, everything is all yes. Like, with those things, they play for me on the beat. It's like the words were already there. The beat maker stuck them in there for me, but nobody can hear them but me. So when I hear that, I go, okay, bang. I write that track. I buy that beat right away, because they'll get scooped on you before you know it. You'll go to buy that beat 24 hours later and it's gone. Somebody already purchased it. So I purchased, as soon as I have the concept written, I purchase the beat, I write the song. I'll write a few of them, and then I'm going to go hit the studio. I'll pump out a 4-hour session, and I'll pump out 4 tracks in that session. I'll do another session to get those mixed. Then it's like a whole just thought process of which one to put out, because every single one of my songs is like a single. I aim for that, to make every single one a single. So when it comes time for a music video or this or that, it's just a matter of pick one. You know what I mean? And it's really hard to pick which one I'm going to do next, because in my head, I think every one of them is fire. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even done that track. I'd just scratch it right then and there if I didn't think so.
I'm digging the vibes, man. Do you have any advice for the youngins that are coming up that want to do what you're doing?
Get everything that you have going on in your life right before you're ready to do this, because if you walk into this thinking this is what it is, and you're not ready, and you're not prepared, and your surroundings are not prepared, then you're not going to be ready, and you're going to fall off. this is what I did wrong, and you can learn from me, because I came back 10 years later when the time was right. Timing is everything. Get everything right, get the timing right, and you'll go. You'll take right off. Everything will be smooth as butter.
Digging the vibes, man. You got a point, because I know some artists that got into the industry, wasn't ready, fell off. Now they're delivering pizza.
You know what? I feel like if I would have kept going this whole time and never stopped, I don't think I'd be where I am now. I think I'd be like lower. I just feel like the timing was right, and I came back and I came back with a bang at the right time. It's all timing. It's all timing. I was ready for it.
People are looking for new music. People are looking for a change in the hip hop industry, because right now hip hop has one sound, in America at least, and it's crazy because the radio sucks. And I don't even listen to the radio anymore because I don't like what I hear. I hear the same songs over and over again. And let me just say this to some folks out here listening to this podcast or watching this on YouTube. Some of you hip hop artists sound like other people. There's one thing I can say about GerkOne. You don't sound like anybody else. You have your own unique sound. You sound like yourself, and no one sounds like you. And that's so cool that you have your own lane where you can say, hey, I got no competition because it's just me. I only sound like myself. And that's amazing. I just want to say that to other hip hop artists, especially to the youngins that are coming up. Don't sound like everybody else. You use, let's say, Future as one of your idols, one of somebody you look up to, right? But then you get into the studio and you sound just like Future. We already have Future. We don't need two of them. We only need one of you. We don't need two of him. We already got it. Do you have any burning desires?
Yeah, a few of them actually. You know, when it comes to music, I have burning desires. When it comes to life, I have burning desires. So when it would come to the music, I'd say it's like I want billboards. I want to hit top charts. I feel like I have what it takes to put out what everybody needs in hip hop. I'm that change. I think I'm that change that everybody's waiting on, because hip hop I agree with you. Hip hop has gone to shit in a lot of different ways. And I'm from the old school. I'm keeping up with the new school, and I'm putting it into a happy medium where you can vibe to this shit and you can really vibe to this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I definitely know what you're saying, man.
Yeah.
And I got to agree with you, GerkOne. You do have some type of music that you could vibe to. Your music is like, I could just, oh, yeah, I could do this to your music, man. Can't do that with everybody's music nowadays.
No.
Especially in hip hop. Because when you're listening, you know what I like about your stuff too? I'm cutting myself off right now. You know what I like about your stuff too? Is that your stuff has stories, man. I can follow along to what you're telling me in your stuff. Like, you have straight bars. I don't hear no mumble rap coming out of you. That shit is fire, man. I'm really digging the vibes. And I'm so glad I caught on to your music. I'm a GerkOne fan. And everybody else that taps in to GerkOne, you'll be a fan too. And you're going to be saying, as soon as you hit play, you're going to be saying, damn, MC Angela, you did it again. Every time you tell me to go find somebody, you told me to go find GerkOne, so we did. And guess what? He's dope. You're damn right he's dope. So tap in. Hey, I want to say thank you for coming through, man. I really appreciate your time. You're a really dope artist, man. And since you've been here for the first time, you've now become part of the Let's Chat and Jam fan, which means you don't have to wait for me to tap into you and say, hey, Gerk, come to my show. Nah, you can tap into my DMs and say, hey, Drew, I got something to say. I want to promote a new song. I got a new book. I'm even in the movie. Whatever it is, it's important to me, and I want to know about it. So tap into me, man. Please, whatever you do.
Hey, bro, I appreciate you having me on here. It was awesome, bro. You're good people.
Well, I appreciate you coming through myself, because you're a dope person, man. And I want you to stay safe out there in Canada. Please stay safe, whatever you do.
Big respects, brother. Big respects.
I appreciate it. And everybody else, y'all stay safe. And just remember this. If you have a dream, Go for your dream, because only you can stop you. And nothing beats a failure but a try. Peace out, folks. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel. Also, like and share the content, as well as hit the notification icon so you don't miss A Conversation with series right here on Let's Chat and Jam.